Welcome to Tea Time with Professor Shea. For this episode, we're going to discuss licensure in funeral service and mortuary care. Now, the one thing about this field is that there's really no consistency between the licensure from state to state. There are some similarities from state to state, but there's a lot of variation as well. So what you really want to do is check with your state. Check with your licensure board. Sometimes that's the Board of Health, sometimes it's a state board. Sometimes there's a specific funeral board for the state that dictates what the licensure is in that state. Some states don't even have licensure, such as Colorado. Most states have some form of an apprenticeship or an internship. And most states require schooling in order to become a mortician or an undertaker, a funeral director or an embalmer. There's sometimes a separate licensure for other items, such as I'm in Massachusetts, and Massachusetts has a licensure for a licensed funeral assistant. A licensed funeral assistant in the Commonwealth allows an individual to do transports and do removals, but doesn't allow them to work within the preparation room that an apprentice license would allow for. This allowed for some separation between the two, especially since we had a lot of lifetime apprentices, and that was something that was trying to be combated at the time. Now, some states have certifications or licensures for crematory operators, some have pre-need certifications or licensures, some have some other creative licensures as well for little niches. And some states you're certified in both. You're certified as a funeral director and an embalmer. Other states you can be certified as just a funeral director or just as an embalmer. And some states you don't need a licensure to do one or the other, but you do need it for the other piece of the puzzle. Such as you need to be licensed to be an embalmer, and you need to go through school and apprenticeship to do that. But to do the funeral directing, you just need some form of on-the-job training. Or vice versa. You could have to go to school, your state could require you to go to school to be a funeral director, to meet with families, to do arranging. And then you don't have to do an embalmer, you just have to have on-the-job training. So, state to state it does vary. Now, on average, you have to complete 4 different pieces of the puzzle. You have to go to school, you have to complete your apprenticeship or internship, depending on your state, what they call it, same process. You have to have a national exam, which is broken up into 2 parts. The arts and the sciences. The arts is the funeral directing related items, and the sciences is really the embalming and restorative related items. And then your state exam is the last part. Now, most states are going to have 2 parts to their exam. That's the scientific portion, or really like an embalming related anatomical portion, and a jurisprudence. Now, jurisprudence is the laws, mortuary law, which is also part of the national exam, but on the national exam it's more national or generalized mortuary law. Whereas jurisprudence for the state will include some of that, because it is relevant within each state, but it will also include the state-specific laws. Each state can have its own mortuary laws. This includes processions as they go through an intersection. That can vary a little bit. The color of a light that you can put onto your vehicles. Do they have to be purple, or they can be amber or white? It may depend on your state. And the other things may be related to bodily care. When a decedent comes in, what type of property are they? That can vary slightly from state to state. And licensure requirements as well. So, some states, their apprenticeship is only a year. Some of them are 2 years, some are 5 years. Some apprenticeships you can start prior to starting your education. Some you have to start while you're a student. And some you can't do until after you've graduated. And some you can do at any point. Now, it varies state to state, and there's a benefit to all of those. There's a benefit to doing your apprenticeship after you've learned all of your material in the classroom, and that you have all of your knowledge, and now you're able to apply it. But you're also not bothered doing your apprenticeship during your schooling because you're able to focus on your school, and then you're able to focus on your apprenticeship separate. Doesn't mean you can't have a job while you go to school, but you're able to focus. This is a very strenuous apprenticeship, so it gives you that time to dedicate to learning and to performing the job. Some cases, again, you can do it at any point in some states. And then other states, they require you that you start your apprenticeship within a year of starting your mortuary education, your school. Now, as far as schooling is concerned, there's some variation in that as well. The average in the industry is that you have to have an associate's degree. Some states say an associate's in science, some say an associate's in arts. Again, we cover both in this industry. We cover both arts and sciences. We have the social sciences, humanities, and we have the deep sciences when it comes to embalming and restorative. So, other states, very few, but some states require a bachelor's degree as well. Some require that you only have so many credits. So again, varies quite a bit from state to state. Some, you can just have a certification-based training. I'm going to put at this point on the bottom of the screen, you're going to see an email that will reach me and my colleagues at Cape Cod Community College. By all means, if you have a question, please reach out, because we can point you in the right direction and we'll help you find the best educational resource for you to meet your needs in your state. We'll help point you in the right direction for the best resources to get information about your state, who to call, where to find that information. We do know where it's found, and we can help you point you in the right direction to where the best information is. Again, that email's on the bottom of the screen, so feel free to reach out, and we'd be more than happy to point you in the right direction. Till next time.